The Fire Pro Wrestling series is one of the most popular amongst hardcore wrestling video game fans, and it's been a while since we've seen a new entry, until now with Fire Pro Wrestling World. But is this the world champion we've been waiting for, or is it just another jobber? Fire Pro Wrestling World is the newest pro wrestling game in the Fire Pro series and the first since the release of 2007's Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. The game is very similar in design, match types, and all from Fire Pro Returns, so if you're a big fan of that game, you're already going to enjoy this one. The game features the same solid pro wrestling engine that we've come to know and love over the years. It has that more timing and finesse system than just mashing the buttons and hoping for the best. It can be a little off-putting at first for newcomers trying to learn that timing of lockups and when to actually press the button commands. But as you play and start to get the hang of it, you quickly realize why the Fire Pro series in general is regarded so highly. There's a decent amount of modes and match types for you to put your various characters into, without the 8 wrestlers being able to be included in each match. You have normal matches and tag teams, as well as you also have battle royals, exploding landmine matches, cage matches, and the gruesome style of matches, which are basically MMA encounters inside of an octagon where you actually have a round-based system. All of these styles of matches were also in Fire Pro Wrestling Returns, so if you played that, you pretty much know what to expect as far as the match stylings are concerned, so there really wasn't a whole lot new at it in this department. There's a lot of options for you to tinker with, though, in the various matches, though. Whether it be the amount of weapons involved in some of the death matches, or when the explosions will end up going off, as well as, of course, increasing or lowering the computer difficulty and the overall match speed, which you can crank up in order to get matches really done fast. Outside of the exhibition mode, there's also League and Tournament without the 32 wrestlers being able to be included, and lots of different settings for you to mess with here as well. The game also includes a mission mode, though there really isn't anything here yet. The only thing that's included is kind of a tutorial on getting the timing down, which I actually recommend if you've never played Fire Pro at all before, go into this first so you can kind of get the idea of when you're supposed to input your button presses when your characters are locking up. One downside is there isn't a huge single-player campaign or season mode for you to put your characters into. It's not something that Fire Pro was really ever truly known for, so it's no surprise that wasn't included, but those who may be new may be expecting a bit more as far as that is concerned. A big part of what makes Fire Pro, though, is in the editing capabilities, creating your own wrestlers, belts, rings, and even referees. There's a lot of options here. When you're creating your wrestlers, there is a ton of potential faces and hairstyles and overall outfits for your characters, as well as a ton of moves to select from. Yes, there's not every move you can possibly ever think of included here, but there are a lot, and I mean a lot of different options to set up your wrestler. There's also the whole robust AI system to set up how each character works and thinks during the courses of matches, when they decide to do certain moves or what they try to favor over other moves. There's a lot you're able to do here, and for those who get into it though, it's just as good as it's always been. The best aspect, though, as far as the creating wrestlers is concerned, though, there's no limit. The only limit is how much space you're able to hold on your hard drive, which is a huge plus for longtime fans, as even Fire Pro Returns had a limit at 500 wrestlers that were able to be included. There is the online mode as well, though unfortunately I was running into some connectivity issues as far as getting matches going. The game is technically still in early access and they're fixing things as the game goes, so online may not be working the best now, but I'm sure they'll have it working down the road. As well as any other bugs and issues, they've been pretty attentive on figuring out what's going on and trying to get it fixed as fast as possible. Though the technical issues, at least on my side, have been minor at the worst. The game hasn't crashed on me, it hasn't slowed down, I haven't run into major bugs. There's been some twitchy AI here and there, though that's something that could easily be fixed, or just as the AI of whatever created wrestlers I was currently using. As well as I heard some people have had problems with VSync being turned off, though this didn't seem to be a problem for me. I was able to hook in my PlayStation 4 controller and have used that perfectly with the game. There's also keyboard and mouse options if that's something you prefer. One downside is the game doesn't feature a lot of wrestlers defaultly. It's just some kind of generic created people just for the game. A lot of times in older Fire Pros, you would have wrestlers that were kind of based on real world wrestlers, just tweaked a little bit so there wasn't copyright issues. That's not really the case here. The game, though, has a huge community that's already working hard at pumping out wrestlers, real and fictional ones. In fact, within the first hour of the game being up, there was already 40 or 50 created wrestlers that are able to easily be added to your game just using the Steam Workshop. You do have to make sure, though, that you go into the team edit and take them from retired and place them in whatever teams you have set up so they'll actually be playable in your game. But once I figured out that small little issue, everything's been running fine with the created wrestlers I've been downloading. Fire Pro Wrestling World is available now on PC via Steam for $19.99. It does have Steam achievements, and the game will be coming to PlayStation 4 down the road. Overall, if you're a fan of Fire Pro Wrestling, you're not going to be disappointed by Fire Pro World. It is still early access, so some things will be fixed, and the online isn't in perfect condition yet. When all those kind of things get fixed up, though, Fire Pro World is going to be one of the best Fire Pro games the series has seen. With everything said, I'm going to be giving the game a 9 out of 10. But anyway, guys, it's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.